Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. And I welcome you to Celebrity Special on Waka, Canada. My name still remains Irioluwa Roberts. And I have with me today my amiable, pretty co-host, South African babe. Let her call her name for
Love
you.
the intro. Hi everyone, it's your girl Miss Sandabeni right here. We are here today with my friend, and who do we have?
Energetic,
Oh,
pretty,
give it to me.
hardworking. Ah, you know what? This woman is full of life.
Yes,
She's the one and only
yes.
Dudu word of entertainment. I told you she's full of life.
Thank you guys for having me.
And I'm telling you, viewers, sit tight because today's episode is going to be interesting. Welcome, Dudu, to Waka.
Thank you for
Canada.
having me.
Our own special celebrity.
Yes.
See the smile.
Yes.
I can't come and kill myself. Oh my goodness. I've been looking forward to having you in the studio.
Same here, same here.
Because anytime with her is always loaded.
Thank you for having me.
And your smile.
Oh,
We appreciate
don't make me
you.
blush. Don't make me blush. I guess I could do.
Okay, Dudu. We call you Dudu, but I'm sure there's a name before Dudu. So who is Dudu?
Dudu is Princess Modupe Oluwa Sonayo James. Dudu is from Badagry, precisely, Lagos State in Nigeria. So that's Dudu.
Princess like Omoba, Abi,
Yeah. Yeah.
From royalty.
royalty.
Oh,
My late dad, was the first Aholu of Kwebe Kingdom.
Wow.
Now my brother is there, His Royal Majesty Obasejiru Olalekan James.
Ah, okay now. You're sitting in royalty.
yes.
Adjust.
Yes. Let me adjust. Yes.
So, Dudu, how did you come about the name Dudu?
That's very interesting. When I was in LASU, because I went to LASU, I did law. I used to have
Law.
this. Yeah.
Wait, though. Now. Law.
Levels.
Like lawyer.
Yeah, I did law.
Confirm lawyer.
Levels.
Okay.
I did law in LASU. So I used to have this high school friend, one day, Idris. So he's always like, you are the darkest person in this class. Dudu Oshi. Dudu, because in the class I was like the darkest person. So he was always calling me Dudu James. So he came about the name Dudu.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, Dudu, okay. They started calling me Dudu James. And that's how Dudu James started from LASU laws.
You know, I was talking with Ire. I was like, Dudu. I was like, we have Dudu in South Africa. I was like, how did she come up with being Dudu? Because in South Africa we have names like Dudu.
Like
And
a
I'm
name, not
yeah,
even a
like
nickname.
a name and a nickname Dudu. So when I first heard your name, I was like, yeah, that's my South African sister. Only to find out
actually,
to my surprise,
he's-
like
he's
no.
black. To me, I used to be the darkest person. So it was so one day was always calling me black girl, do. I'm like, okay. So I adopted that name kind of, so because it became my nickname. So everybody calls me Dudu James. So even when I was running an election in LASU, because I was the social director of LASU laws, my political name was also Dudu James. So that name just kind of stick. So when I wanted to start up my business, I just decided to use Dudu's World.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, from studying law or graduating as a law student.
I didn't go to law school, but I did finish law in LASU because it was not what I wanted. It was my daddy's dream. So I just wanted to live my daddy's dream for him. So when my daddy died, I just lost the interest. One time.
So did
I
you-
actually wanted to do theater arts.
Oh.
Or mass communication, but for some reason my daddy just wanted me to do law. So it was really, I had a struggle my last 2 days because it wasn't what I wanted, but I was just doing it. But when my daddy died, I just decided that, well, that's the end for me. I didn't bother, I didn't push further, so that's why I just left it.
So did you go back to school to study the
Event planning, yes, I did. So I went back to school. I went to there's this training school that we did that they held somewhere in Nigeria. It was a 6 months training. We actually had one of our special guests, Tijan Balloons, in one of my buses in Nigeria, who also came to train us on balloon decors. We had a lot of teachers there training us on different kinds of things. So I went back to school because my what I really wanted to do was be an MC, be in the entertainment world. I just wanted to do anything. I had to go back from the scratch, learn balloon decoration. I remember the very first person I worked with was one guy. I can't remember. He used to have a nickname, but he was the one that gave me the platform. That I had to. I was working as his assistant. Then I started mine.
My entertainment thing. Wow. So is Dudu married?
Well, Dodo is separated right now. I used to be married. I was married for 9 years. And I have two beautiful children. Right now, we've gone our separate ways. A lot of things went on that. So I don't really want to go into details of what happened, but we're good. We're co-parenting, and it's fine.
So when did you decide that I want to come to Canada? Like I'm done with Nigerian stress, or oh, I see my future brighter in Canada.
To be honest, Canada was not even in the picture.
You know what? You know what? What please have you realized that it seems a lot of our story seems to be like Canada was never in our
Exactly.
picture.
It wasn't. It wasn't actually.
What was your first choice?
I think it was America. I was in America. I was in Florida with my sister. I was there for a couple of months. I think about 5 months, and then I was working in a salon because when before I left Nigeria, I had worked in a salon. I'd done a 1 year training, working in a salon because I wanted to have something handy, so that in case I come into a country where I don't know, at least
You have
my
something
handwork
to fall
would
on.
would
Yeah.
yeah. So I was just so keen about it. So when I got there to America, this Sierra Leone lady employed me and told me I'll be on commission. So whatever braids I do, she take 30%, I take 70. So I was working with them, and then I wanted to stay in America. My ex-husband was here, and he was like, "Oh, you have to come to Canada. Come to Canada." He's been here for years before me, so he was like, "Oh, it's time for you to now come." But before then, we've been having some ups and downs, but we got over it. We moved on. We were still together, still struggling here and there. But I'm like, okay. Canada was not even never in the plan.
Picture.
I didn't even want to come because I didn't know how I was going to survive. America, I have my family back there, so if anything happens, I can always fall back on my family. But Canada, I don't have anybody I know there. It's only my ex. And a lot of stories have gone from far and wide into my ears that, marriages are always hard there, you're always struggling, this, that. So I was just skeptical, but because I'm married, so I don't have a choice than to come. So that was what brought about me coming here.
So in your moving, were you moving with your kids or your kids was already here?
At that time, I had just one. I had my daughter. So I came in with my daughter to Canada. And then, I started going to school here as soon as I got to Canada because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know anybody. So the only thing I could do was just Google and make research and see what I can do. I decided to further my study. I wanted to I went to a school where I could learn how to build websites and all stuff, podcasts. I went to school, so I was in that school juggling motherhood, being a wife, and also going to school. So it was really challenging because I had to take a bus from Brampton to Mississauga, come back early to pick up my daughter from school, come back home, make breakfast, make dinner. It was tough, but we're here, we're good.
So I can imagine the winter period. Miss your boss.
Juggling.
Let me
Everything.
tell you what happened to me
Miss
one
your
day.
boss, yeah.
Hey, that's how I just got to Canada. They did not tell me that you people's code can kill. I was just going. I just wore jacket like okay, we just chest it. When I just got outside, when I was coming back, When I was going, the weather was still very okay.
Bipolar weather.
When I was coming back, I was literally shivering in the bus stop.
Ah.
I didn't have a gloves. I just had the socks and a jacket.
And they'll be looking at you like,
Oh boy, I just removed my socks straight, put it on my hand. Which one would die first, leg or hand? I just wore my socks because the bus did not come. It was as if the snow that they just held the bus.
That's
The
Canada
bus
weather
did
for you.
not come. You know, the one that is more painful is you missing the bus. I got to the bus stop exactly when the bus was moving. So I had to wait 30 minutes for the next bus.
yes, so
It was crazy.
is that bad? Is that bad?
I had to call my ex that I'm dying. Please, can you just, are you still at home? Please come and pick me. He said, oh, he's left for work. I said, Canada, you have really shown that I'm in Canada. So that was my first experience to tell me, welcome to Canada.
Winter.
Because Florida is very warm. It's not cold. So what we see as summer here is their own spring. And so it's not cold at all.
They have nice weather.
That's why they when you come to Florida, you see everybody wearing skimpy,
Shorts.
harmless. I mean, I was always saying, oh, it's cold. It's a little bit breezy. They were like, oh, this is not cold.
That's good. So, like, how long did it take you to like get to this point of your household name? Like, this is I'm ready for it.
Like I said, when I started DUDU'S World, I was training under people. So, for example, sometimes I've been in a situation where I had to wear a mascot because one of our staff didn't come. So those are the few challenges that I had to go through, starting my business. But when I wanted to start, I had the support of my family. So, I got financial support where I was able to buy some of my equipment. So I had my own bouncing castle. I had my ice cream equipment. I had my popcorn. I had all those
So
things.
you didn't have to rent.
I didn't have to rent. So most times when I have to rent is maybe decor. I didn't want to buy too many things because most times the kiddies events always do more of
Theme.
balloons and all that. So it's very rare we use clothing or any kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, when I need that, I'll just go to my boss and then get things that I need. So sometimes when I need something, I just go to Tijan's Balloons. I get whatever I need for a particular event and I'm like, I'm good. So I started like that. Then I got my very first job. You needed to see. You think I won jackpot. Hell, I was so excited that I got that job because I was just talking to kids outside the house, and the man was like, you'll be very good with MC. Why are you not going into that? I'm like, I'm an event coordinator. I'm not really specific about being an MC and stuff. So he was like, let me give you a job. I'm like, okay.
Just like that.
He said, my son's birthday is going to be 2 weeks Saturday from now. Would you be the MC? At that time, he was offering to pay me 15,000. That's a lot of money then. 15,000.
Like 15,000
Naira.
naira.
Yes, naira. It was a lot of money. When I said 15,000, I said, okay. I said, let's go. So I went there. I didn't know how to start or what to do. So I was a little bit, I panicked because it was my first job as an MC. So I started my first job as an MC, although I did work under people as an event coordinator. But my very first job was an MC job.
So do you
Alone.
get
Alone. So it was challenging because I've never done that before. The man just wanted to challenge me to see if I could do it. And, afterwards, I was into it. At first, I staggered, but I started blending. And the children, so every time I taught the children, hello, children, they'll tell me, hello, Auntie Dudu. So, that name kind of became really, everywhere I go, Auntie Dudu, Auntie Dudu. Every child that saw me afterwards, they don't even know my name. They call me Auntie Dudu. Till date, all the children that grew up when I was in this DUDU'S world back in Nigeria, they still call me Auntie Dudu.
So here in Canada, how's the journey be? Like, how have you been coping? Like,
DUDU'S world is 15. Like I did my 40th birthday, and I did it also in celebration with DUDU'S world being 15 years. So I started DUDU'S world 15 years ago.
alone.
Yeah, it's been draining. I registered DUDU'S world in Nigeria, so it wasn't just It wasn't like I was
So it
doing
wasn't like
no.
you started from
No.
here.
So you fly DUDU'S world from
From
Nigeria
Nigeria
to
to
Toronto.
When I got here, I had a lot of people discourage me not to use Dudu's word. That Dudu here means they told me one funny thing
Black hole.
like poo poo. That Dudu means poo poo here. That so I shouldn't use Dudu. I should change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
DUDU. Like,
DUDU means
you know when
poo.
you could tell a child like we go make a DUDU?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it don't mean
So, yeah.
Dudu means poo poo. That I should not use
Yeah,
Dudu's
that's
word.
true.
But I'm like, I've been using this name for 10 years before I came here. So I don't think I want to change it. I think I just want to continue with it. And that Dudu's word has brought me a lot of luck, a lot of business. That's my brand name. That's the name people know me as. So
To start from
I don't want to
now.
change it. So I
Do you
registered
get,
it here.
Like, sorry, do you get like where you get bookings as an MC and also
An
big and
events
events planner in one?
Yeah. So some jobs, some jobs I do MC. I'm not the event coordinator. That means so I'm working under another event coordinator. So some jobs I'm the one coordinating the entire event. So when I have a job like that, I don't do the MC because I can't coordinate and do the MC.
Oh,
So
you
I
can't
usually
juggle
have
between the
yeah,
two
I
at
can't.
the same time.
I can't.
Okay.
So it's either I'm doing MC or I'm doing the event coordinator. Event coordinator is so demanding, you can do both. Because when my client needs me and I'm doing the MC, I have to stop the MC job to do. So I rather have another person do the MC. And like they said, we rise by lifting others. So I don't want to. I can decide to make the whole money, but I like to just share. I like to be very kind.
Nice.
All right, Dudu. We'll be back. We'll go on a short break.
Drink water, drop cup.
All right, viewers, stay tuned. We'll be back. And Dudu is going nowhere. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a media brand that offers top-notch media services for your events? Look no further than Waka Canada. Based in Ontario, Canada, Waka Canada offers media services globally. From event coverage to red carpet, photography to talent management, and even paparazzi of your event, Waka Canada has got you covered. And that's not all. Waka Canada also has a podcast series where you can advertise your brand to a global audience. So, whether you're planning a corporate event or a personal celebration, Waka Canada is the media brand for you. Need our media services? Simply send us a WhatsApp message on +1902 704 6143 or slide into our Instagram DMs at Waka_Canada. Waka Canada, your one-stop shop for all your media needs.
Welcome back. We still have Dudu World of Entertainment with us in the studio, and she's still answering our questions. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm blessed.
Okay, so to the main thing here in Canada, because apparently this is where home is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently.
How has the journey so far with the event management thing going for you?
I would say, when I wanted to start, I had this friend. Her name is Feishayo. She wanted to have her 40th birthday. So she called me and said, Dupe, I want to have my party, and I don't want to do any stress. Can you help? I'm like, okay. We started the planning. I got the venue. I started working on the vendors that I wanted to use for the cake because I don't know any vendors. So it was really challenging for me. So I had to go to one or two people that I know that, can you relate some vendors to me? Or she was like, go to Instagram, check this place, check that place. So I started looking out for decorator where I could rent some things to do a decor, all of those things. I was going from place to place. So I went on Facebook Market. I looked for rentals for where I can rent things that I wanted to use for decoration. I went on, I asked people that, do you know any MC? Do you know all this? I need a live band. Even getting the live band, I didn't get the link for the live band here. I called a lady that usually does my mom's makeup in Nigeria because I saw her posted a guy in Canada on her status. So I was like, the guy goes to Sele. So I was like, Sele people, definitely they like music.
Yeah,
So they'll be out there. So
sure.
I said, Michelle, do you know anybody that sings and all. She was not like that. Oh yes, that there's this guy that he sings Boye Ega. I should get in touch with him. So she got the number for me. I called him. I reached out to him that I need the live band, and apparently I didn't even know that I knew Boye because it was just the name. I didn't know the face. So until I saw my, oh, it's you. It's you. Okay. So it was like, he now started telling me, okay, if you need this, if you need that, then I went on Instagram, checked videographers in Canada, all those things. I Googled. So that's how I was able to get my first set of vendors. So it was really challenging for me. That job made so many doors.
Wow.
I'm telling you. And to think that I just did it
For your
as a friend.
Yeah.
But when I finished, I wasn't expecting her to pay me or anything because, of course, we went to the same secondary school. We were neighbors in Badagry. Then we grew up together. She's my sister's best friend. So all of those things incorporated, I didn't want to take any money from her. I just wanted to do it very well.
That's Africa for you.
Exactly.
And she just called me one day and said, babes, I just sent you something to say thank you to you. She now told me, babes, start this your business now. Print your card. Register your business. Start. Don't. I said, I don't know anybody. She said, you will start by starting. If you don't start, then you will just be laid back. So just start.
true.
Anyhow you can start. Start. I said, okay. So I went to register my business here because, of course, it was registered in Nigeria. So I had to re-register it here. Started like that. I started posting, telling people I do event planning. And the real job, I'm like, okay, that job kind of opened so many doors for me because people that saw that job, they were like, have you been doing this for a while? I said, yes, but not here. I just came in. So she was like, okay. So they started telling people, because my business card was on the table that day. So I started giving it out, that this is my business card that I had was Nigeria owned. So I wrote my Canada number on it because I didn't have a Canada card yet. So I had to write my Canada number on it. That this is the number. Or don't go and look for Nigerian number. So I was like, okay. So that was how I started from the scratch here. So it was a bit challenging, trying to know people, trying to bring in vendors. Then, it started working out with me getting in touch with my auntie here. She helped me, this one is a caterer, this is a caterer, this is a... So that's how I started getting my vendors. So I had 2 teams of vendors. So that means I have 2 caterers, 2 videographers, two.
Oh,
So just so in case
one is busy, the other one comes.
yeah, I don't like to be shortchanged. I like to balance my thing. So that's how the struggle started.
Nuisa, what I actually found out in Toronto is that we have a lot of people doing the same thing in their own unique way. So what makes you different from other event planners?
Yay.
I tell you for free. A lot of people tell me, why DUDU? They ask me that question now, why DUDU? I think the uniqueness with me is the fact that I have so much passion for my job. So I put all my passion in it. So when I'm coordinating an event, I don't want anything. I'm very observant. I just want my client to tell me at the end of the day, well done. Thank you. You did good. Sometimes at the end of the day, my clients, some of them will say, DUDU, I've added extra 200 for you.
Wow.
I've added this for you because
that's good.
even when I have a time limit with them and I tell them my job ends at 11, I extend it because I see that some Nigerians and African time, they don't start
on time. Yeah.
African time.
So, so even though some event planner will tell you our deal is from 6 to 12. After 12, I leave. But I'm not like that. I take my time. I make sure that my client is okay. I make sure that everybody is okay. I see that everything is well organized. So, most of the time, I'm always the last to leave the venue. Sometimes I run home because maybe I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Probably when I have a back-to-back job. So, it's always crazy. But
As challenging as events planning may be, what makes you to enjoy it? What fun part of it?
I'm sure. Yeah, it's all about.
I tell you, when they say work and play, is 2 things.
Yes.
So you're working and you're playing at the same time.
Which is nice.
And there is free food. So that's another bonus.
Joy love.
There is free food, So, and so I you know when you cook food at home, you be saying it's my food, but when you go outside, you taste a different kind of
Smoking jollof rice.
you just want to eat that food like And the funny thing is that I will have made mouth that when I get to this event, I will eat
Wajompa.
amala. It's a lie. I will just be too busy. At the end of the day, I realize I've not even eaten a meal throughout that day. But of course, play and work. I don't get time to go. I'm not an outdoor person like that. I don't really like going to parties. So, but when I have an event, because I'm busy, I'm not in the party.
And all
I'm
over.
everywhere. So
Work.
it's enjoyable for me because I'm working and at the same time I'm enjoying the party. So work and play, I think is okay. It's a good thing.
So I wonder, is there like a special criteria that you look at when you're picking out your vendors for your events?
Absolutely, that is very key, because one thing that I look out for is I hate disappointment. I do not I if one thing I look out for is being on time. Are you on time? Are you following my guides? Are you following what I want? There are some vendors that they will tell you, Dudu, I have to quickly go somewhere. I'll meet you there. No, when I tell you two, I want you to be there before me. Or two, be there too, because you don't know why I told you two.
Yeah.
He may just be because something has to happen at that 2 o'clock. And if we have a deal that you're going to work for me from 2 till 1, I'm paying you for that hours. Don't cut short anything for me. Render your service for what you have paid, what I paid for. Because I can't be explaining to my client that, sorry, I had that kind of disappointment. That was the most painful job, because this was a very important job to me. It was realtors. They were having their appreciation party, and I had paid the videographer.
Wow.
Believe me, he didn't remember that he had the job.
Oh my goodness.
And how
I'm
did you
telling
handle
you.
that?
Tears were just rolling off I called him and he was sleeping.
Oh my God.
And I'm like that, hello, where are you? He said, who is this? I said, it's Dudu. He said, And those were the early stages where I was still picking my vendors.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have another person.
No backup.
I don't have a backup. So he was the only one that I had met then. So I was just looking forward to working with him for the first time. So, no, for the second time. I had worked with him previously, but he didn't come. He sent somebody. He sent one of his boys. So that one came early. So I was expecting that, no,
That's how it should
with that
continue,
job.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, he didn't come. And then I called, he said, okay. I said, and I kept calling him, and he was giving me attitude on the phone. And he was like, what? I didn't remember now. Yeah. And I'm like, that, boy, you were paid. And at that time, because I don't know anybody, I can't fight. So I just left him. He didn't come. He came in.
He didn't come for the show.
He came in, guess what he did? He came in, stayed because he had collected money from 2 places. So he came in, he did a video for 30 minutes and left. He didn't even tell me he was leaving. And I paid him for videography and photography. So, and this man wanted to use the video for his YouTube to promote his business. So it was very important to him. So that job kind of made me weak. So at that point, I started looking for alternative. So I started reaching out, but we couldn't get, so we had to use the phone to do a video.
But I like that you didn't give up. Like you kept
No.
going. Even
I
though
brought
you
at the end of
had
the day, we
experience.
got another photographer coming, we got another videographer coming, but in the space where we didn't get, I was using my phone because I needed to give something for my client. So I had to refund the money to my client because I didn't render the
That
service.
was not it.
No, I didn't render the service, so I had to return the money, and I had to write a written apology to my client. I'm sorry, this will never happen again. And he responded to me and told me, don't use that person again. That person is going to mess your work up in Canada. Although he called me afterwards, apologized to me because I gave him 2 jobs. I had an event Saturday and another one for Sunday. So, and I already paid him for the 2. So he came in early on Sunday because he wanted to try and make it up to me for the previous mess up.
Definitely, that's first impression has
Yeah.
But that impression just killed my vibe.
killed the vibe. I
We
know.
still talk. We still have one or two things, but we've not done another business since then. So it's not like I won't give him a job, of course, because he has apologized. To err is human, to forgive is divine. So I'm not holding that against him. He's a good person. He's good in his field, but it's just that one mistake can make you or mar you. That's it.
That's really that's really sad. I
Yeah.
can imagine what you went through.
I was crying. Because that job could have given me 60 jobs.
Wow.
But I like that also you were able to think out of the box at that particular time.
That's why you're an event planner. You have to improvise. You have to look for a way to to just do it. Like the good thing about the entire thing, because even when he was giving his speech, he still did an appreciation to me because the other things that I did covered up for the mess.
Oh yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
not, I would have, the good things was that. And another job after Faye's job that really brought me into the limelight was Tinu Jikutu's birthday, a 40th birthday. She gave me the opportunity to coordinate the event. She already had most of her things already planned, but she just brought me in as a coordinator. So a lot of people saw the way I did coordinate the event. So after that, led to another job. I did DUDU'S 40th birthday, and then
That party was late. I didn't know you did it. That party was late. It was nice.
I was the coordinator for DUDU'S birthday. After that, I've done so many other jobs. I think I've lost count of how many jobs I've done now in the space of
Strong
2
woman.
years.
That's nice.
2
So,
years.
Do you take jobs only in Ontario, or if there's someone client in Vancouver,
Outside.
Manitoba, like, are you ready to say coming?
I have a job in January, and they're taking me to Abada, so it's going to be challenging because I don't know
That's what I want to
vendors.
say. That's how.
I don't know vendors in Alberta, but she's willing for me to fly few of my vendors with me, and then get some. So I'm still making research on some vendors that I need there. I will go with some of my crew here, and I will find the remaining there. So that's a little bit challenging.
DUDU'S world is growing.
And I had to go. I've done a job in Kitchener. I've done a job in London, Ontario. I've done a job in Windsor. So I'm not
that's still
limited to just
drivable.
Toronto.
That's still
Yeah,
drivable.
4 hours. The
That's
kid,
still drivable.
the Kitchener one was really challenging because, transforming a hall that is not a banquet hall into a banquet hall.
Kitchener, their things are always old modern.
Oh,
Very.
I've never been there.
I
Very.
lived there for a year, so
Very.
I know how it looks.
Very.
like.
So we had to transform it into the new modern. So bringing in so many things. Big shout out to my decor, House of Celine. She's holding it down for me. So she's always there. She's backed me up. I have a lot of. If I begin to do shout outs,
Yeah.
all my vendors will be angry. You didn't call my name. You didn't call my name. So let me just.
No, you know what? This one is very sweet. The way you are saying it is sweet. That brings me to this question. Are you saying, because the way I see it, like, you're happy, I know you love doing what you're doing, but at the same time, is it lucrative? Like, is it worth dabbling into? Is it worth leaving our own job and say, oh, yeah,
Can I do it?
Can I do it? I want to be an event planner.
To be honest, a lot of people just jump into being an event planner. They just think that, if I can put 2 and 2 together, that makes you an event planner. No, you have to be exclusive. You have to think out of the box. You have to be creative. So all of those things, when you think about the money aspect, you will jump on it. But what about the struggles? What about the thinking? You have to do a lot of logical thinking, particularly when a client is describing something. You will sit down and listen to description. No, I want it like this. I want it like this, like this, like this. I want this, and then you are thinking. You have to send out emails to your vendors. You have to reach out to them. You have to call them constantly. If I had called the videographer a day before, he would have remembered that he had But even though I know he had 2 jobs that day, so he left my job for another job. So that's what they do. When they pay you more here, you leave this one for another one. But it's not supposed to be like that. So it's very lucrative. I would say it's something that you can venture into. It's it's
You
really
can
worth
make a
it.
career
Yeah,
out of it.
it's really worth it. Particularly if you have passion for it, because it's another thing for you to want it because of the money. It's another thing for you to have passion for it, because you will face a lot of insults, ridicules. Everybody would, she didn't do it well, she didn't do it right. You will get a lot of that. So are you willing to embrace that and pick it up and then look for where you made the mistake and adjust and work better on your next job? So critics will come. It's very challenging. I would not lie to you. You have to think. Like I said, the job I'm having in December is very challenging. But we you still have to do what you have to do. That's what makes you creative. So you have to have the creativity in you. You have to have the vibe. You have to be able to be. You can't be a shy person and want to be an event planner. I don't think it works. It works together.
Yeah, you must be social.
You have
like,
to be.
So, are you looking forward to like training people to help ease this or like open for people to come in?
I have a lot of people that have been in my inbox and say, "Oh, I would like to work with you. I don't want you to pay me. I just want to learn. I just want to train." And I have 3 of them now that I'm bringing on board. I will be taking them to most of my events now, so that they can learn 1 or 2 things. Like I told them, I will also be having some training. I wanted to. I'm starting my YouTube where I'll be teaching more about how you can plan your events with a very low budget if you're not looking to spend so much money, and how you can manage yourself, how you can do a very big event, something that will look really big, but yet you're spending so little. So all of those things, I'm thinking of. I'm starting a podcast soon, so I'll be teaching on that. 1 or 2 of my podcasts, telling people how to go about it, so that we can have more people to challenge me on this job and see where we can
So-
be up to it.
So technically, Dudu is a threat to us because
Yes.
she came in
Yeah.
to Toronto and her name is ringing that bell currently. So
You're
watch
not
out
giving us time.
at all.
'Cause
So
we wanna correct the space
are we,
as well.
can we say that you are open to receive people to learn, or you're planning on having like
Of course, I'm open to people to come learn.
people to come learn?
I'm a, like I always say, I'm a all work play. I do both together. I combine both. So in as much as I'm working, I'm also training. So you can watch how I'm doing things. I remember taking
Ready to share
my
your ideas,
Yeah.
because I know
That's-
lots
that's
of people they
You know
they
the funny
want to
thing?
put their thing.
I
They don't
I
want people
actually
to
don't want to
I
share.
took my PA my to that's her first event with me, and I didn't. She was just watching me. She knew that this is what I have to do. I didn't even have to teach her anymore. She knows what to do because she had seen, oh, Dudu does this, Dudu does like this, Dudu. So when I gave her the list to check people in, to check them, help them with their seats, she was doing it so well. I was like, I moved back. I was like, whoa, oh, that's nice. So I don't, I see her doing so well because she also have the background though, so from Nigeria, so it helped her a little bit. So she's just trying also to come into the industry in Canada and build her own brand. So I'm not worried that anybody will train under me and be bigger than me. We always pray that the younger ones come and be bigger than us.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
I'm not worried about that.
Wow. Thank you so much for shedding light into everything pertaining to the world of entertainment. It's been fun having you in our studio, and I told you I really enjoyed this.
Thank you for
gist.
having me. Thank you for
and I
having me.
hope to have you soon again. With,
Definitely.
with a
Ah.
beautiful
Love the energy.
smile.
I'll be here. One phone call away.
Okay. Thank you, Nuriza, for making this, interesting also. And I hope to see your beautiful face soon again.
Anytime.
So, viewers, we have come to the end of today's episode of Celebrity Special. And from me, Juliet Iriolua, from Nuriza, and
Yes.
also from Dudu House of Entertainment, we say, stay blessed.